Hey guys, it's Assata. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So I'm a woman who was diagnosed at 14 with PCOS or PMOS, as the new terminology explains. It is a hormonal condition which, can cause a lot of quick weight gain, to be quite honest. It can also cause depression, anxiety, and stubborn belly fat. So with that being said, I'm also a mother. I'm 30 years old and I use GLP-1s to take my body from looking like this in a bulking phase to looking like this in a cutting phase. I'm currently in a cutting phase, which means that I am aiming for fat loss, weight loss, all that good stuff. And I have been on a GLP-1 now for the past 3 years. In my very view video, I was working with a telehealth company, and I'm no longer with that telehealth company. I actually am switching to a different telehealth company that has even better reviews, and I'm just super excited to be working with them. So if you guys are interested in this video, please stay tuned. I know your time is very precious, very valuable, and you guys are looking to me and following me on my journey, which I am super grateful for, as someone who is in a cutting phase, as someone who is a mother, and as someone who has PCOS. PCOS for me honestly didn't start really making my life more difficult until after I had my daughter. Once I had her, the weight gain during COVID was just so extreme that I ended up gaining so much weight, y'all. And I did the keto thing, lost a bunch of weight, but once I stopped keto, like with any diet, you're going to gain that weight back, and that's surely what happened. I gained all the weight back, started weightlifting, and it just wasn't really giving me all the results that I really wanted. So it wasn't until I found a GLP-1 that my life completely just started to shift and my body started to change and do the things that I wanted it to do. But of course, it's really hard work on my part and my behalf, making sure to drink as much water as possible, consume the correct amount of calories in order to lose weight, so being in a caloric deficit. And also just being intuitive and patient along my journey. So this is pretty much going to be a documentary of me not only, losing weight, but also just shifting as a person in general, and also getting rid of any type of weight that has been on my mental, my spirit, and all that good stuff. So if this sounds like anything that you're interested, make sure to stay tuned, and let's go ahead and get into what is going on today.
And make love to you till the morning. Can I? It's been a long time since you and I had a chance for us to have some fun exploring. You've been calling out my name. Oh, yeah. I'm looking for you right now. I need it bad.
I really did want to show you guys what my body is looking like as we progress in these videos. So if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So this is what my body is looking like right now. Today is June 15th, and this is where I'm currently sitting at. I did drink some black coffee and I'm still sipping on it. That's kind of like I want to say my third go-to. So when I wake up in the morning, I like to have some water, or I'll have some warm lemon water. Y'all, get your digestion in order. And then the next thing I love to do, because I love caffeine, I really do, is to allow myself to have either a Celsius, some Oxy Shred from EHP Labs, not sponsored, I wish it was, or I like to have some black coffee, no sugar, no cream. So this is where I'm sitting at with my body as of today. As you guys can see, there's a lot of belly fat that has accumulated, due to PCOS. And also, I think it's very important to mention, I do take antipsychotics. I also take antidepressants, which also cause weight gain. So your girl is just getting hit left and right, but we take care of our mental health, because if your mental health is not in order, you're not going to be in order. With that being said, those are the 3 things that I highly recommend to just kickstart your morning if you want caffeine, but water and warm lemon water will work too. Now let's go ahead and get into some specifics, right? So I'm currently sitting at 182 pounds, which on Friday I was 178. So obviously it's a lot of water retention. There's a lot of water weight. I did, not eat a meal prep this weekend, so that has a lot to do with it. I just kind of did what I wanted to do, which is perfectly fine. We're being patient on this journey. I do have PCOS. I do have to take medications for my mental health. And, I'm a busy mom. So with that being said, my journey may, take a lot longer than yours, and that's just, it is what it is. With that also being said, today I weighed in at 182 pounds, and this is what I'm looking like. And when I first started getting back on GLP-1s, I was actually 193 pounds. So basically I had to restart my journey, right? Because it was close to that 196 pound mark where I first had started 3 years ago. And you guys, I'm going to get more into specifics about diet and or lifestyle change, because we don't do diet. So once I actually lock in with what I want to do or what I'm going to be doing, I have to stick with it. Like, I literally have to stick with it for a very, 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 very long time. And I'm already knowing that. But yes, 182 pounds, and we're actually going to take measurements, which I haven't did measurements in a very long time. I'm not really a measurements girl, to be quite honest with y'all. I think that, they're very helpful to have as much scientific data as much as possible in the beginning of your journey. So I highly recommend to take measurements, but I don't always take measurements. I'll probably take measurements starting now from today, the 15th of June, into July 15th, and then August 15th, so I can keep on track with my measurements. But yeah, let's go ahead and go get a measuring tape, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm kind of not that nervous. I thought I'll be a little bit nervous to take measurements, but once again, I'm not a measurements girl. I'm more of a, if I look good, feel good, I'm good, but I know that a lot of people may be curious about what my measurements are. I did also want to preface this by saying that I am 110% natural, so I am genetically just busty. But I'll get into that in another video later down the line about, my cleavage and everything like that. As I lose weight, I'm sure that they will start to deflate. And it's just something that I'm kind of considering getting some work done once they deflate, because I already know that they are. But I'm making a promise to myself that basically it will be a treat to myself, maybe in the future, depending on how I feel about my body, if I'll get cosmetic surgery to get a lift. But with that being said, here we are. So I'm just going to lift this up. And then you want to pull it. So I am 33.5 inches on my waist. If I had to pick a waist size that I would love to be my goal, I don't know. I'm not really into, measurements, like I said, but, having a little 30-inch, 28-inch waist would be nice and cute. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do my glutes as well. So we are basically about 43 inches on the glutes. Nice, nice, nice. And then I'm going to do my bust as well, because having a breast reduction is actually top on my list of things to do. But I just think that you can do it naturally, you know what I mean? And then just get them lifted. So that's just my personal opinion, but do what you want with your body. Child, this is why I don't take measurements. 40 inches on my bust. A lot. So my measurements in order would have to be 40 inches, 33 and a half, and then, what was it again? 43? About 43 on the glutes. So I love my curves. I love the fact that, I've worked so hard to even get here, because I'm sure a long time ago, them glutes, wasn't where they needed to be. But those are my measurements. Like I told you guys earlier, my weight is sitting at 182 pounds as of today, June 15th. And then what is my goal weight for the next 6 months? Because as you guys know, I'm doing a 6-month lock-in. So for the next 6 months, I would like to be at most, I would like to get down to 165 pounds by December. So we're going to see if I can do it, and if I can do it, or when I do it, because we're speaking things into existence here. We're being motivated. We're locked in. So when I reach 165 pounds, my next goal will probably, I'll see how I feel, but my next goal will probably be like in the 140s. I am 5'3" for reference, so I hope that helps. I am a short girl, so our journey takes longer. Dang, I just realized not only am I short, older, have a child, have PCOS, and taking mental health medications. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. My goal weight would be 165 pounds. As you guys know, in order to shift and change your body, you have to first shift and change your mindset and know exactly what you're going to be doing by making smart goals. So if I had to make a smart goal, why not just do it with y'all? Yeah, let's do it together. All right, I have my laptop here, and we're gonna go to chat because why not? We're gonna go to chat. I'm also gonna pull this down, child. Okay, so I'm on my laptop right now, and we're gonna ask ChatGPT to make a smart goal for losing weight. We gotta be specific. For getting from 182 pounds to 165 pounds by December 30th. Let's see what chat says. Okay, so SMART goals, basically defined by being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Those are what SMART goals are. So basically it says lose an average of less than a pound a week. So even if I don't lose a full pound a week, all I have to do is average at least a little bit above half a pound. So about half a pound a week. I already told you guys that, it's going to be it's going to take a lot longer for me and be a little bit more difficult because of all the things that I mentioned earlier. But to lose an average, I would have to basically make it to lose a pound a week, which is crazy. Weigh myself once per week under the same conditions, track calories and protein intake at least 5 days per week, and complete 3 gym workouts per week, and walk at least 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. So in order for me to measure my steps, I do have an old generation, not even the new generation of Apple Watch, but you can use a pedometer. I know they have them on Amazon for probably about $12-15. You can use I know they have the Oura rings too, or you can just use your phone and make sure to keep your phone on you at all times. That's the reason I don't use my phone, because I don't always have my phone on me. That's why I like the Steps app on my watch. So yes, but all I have to do is lose 17 pounds by the end of the year, and it is achievable. Now, the relevance. Reaching 165 pounds supports my goals of improving my health, managing my PCOS symptoms, building confidence, and creating a stronger, leaner physique while maintaining muscle. Muscle preservation is so important to me because I'm not trying to be out here breaking bones, and you getting older. Muscle is so freaking important, but we're not going to get into why muscle is important right now. Also, time bound. I will reach 165 pounds by December 30th, 2026 by consuming 1,500 to 1,700 calories per day, having 120 to 140 grams daily, strength training 3 days per week, walking every day 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day, which honestly I have to be intentional because I do work from home and I'm kind of very sedentary, so I have to stay active. and make it intentional, basically meaning that if I want to get 7 to 10K steps a day, I literally, y'all, have to get on the walking pad or go outside and get as many steps as possible. Also, drinking 80 to 100 ounces daily of water and sleeping 7 to 8 hours nightly. And I'm going to be doing my weekly check-ins every Monday. So shout goes out to chat, because chat knows its thing. It will literally give you a whole SMART goal of how to reach your goals. So we're going to do what chat is saying. It's honestly what I've been saying this whole time. I just have to, you know, get my butt up and go do it. But today is a brand new day, June 15th. It's a Monday, starting over, starting fresh. We're not going to be restarting and not doing the things that we know we need to do. So this is going to be very exciting. I'm actually excited. And it's not even just me relying on motivation, which if you guys want me to, I'll probably end up doing it anyways, but I'm gonna do a motivation video, or aim to do a motivation video every single week to keep all of us in line and in check. I know that we all have busy lives and different lifestyles and everything like that. So yeah, we gonna need a little bit of motivation at least one time a week. I have like something on my lip. I feel like it's hair. It is. Okay, so we have our goals. It is currently 8:04 a.m. So today usually is a weightlifting day, but honestly I may shift it to being weightlifting on Tuesdays instead, because Monday I just want to start the week fresh and, you know, get things done around the house, to be honest, get some work done for brands and promos. So Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are going to be weightlifting. So yeah. Oh, it says to set a good mantra too. By December 30th, 2026, I will weigh 165 pounds by consistently honoring my health through strength training, nourishing my body, and showing up for myself every week. I love that for me, and I love that for you guys too. So, all right, we have to do one main thing today, and that main thing would have to be getting those steps in. So you already know where I'm headed.